Hey, Sustainable Parents, Flora McCormick here, and I am the founder and host here at Sustainable Parenting, a licensed clinical professional counselor of 10 years. I have two young kids myself, and I love mentoring mamas now and help families together to get on the same page in parenting that is kind and firm at the same time. We just wrapped up a workshop of calm, confident parenting. And if you've missed that, you can catch the replays either here in our Facebook group at the top of the page under featured, or you can catch those by going to our website, sustainableparenting.com/mentor. Now, I want you to know that this topic that I've chosen for today about how to never again regret what you say to your child can be something that has some shame to it. And that is not at all my intention. Like, we have enough things in our lives making us feel mom shame, right? Like, I hear so many parents tell me, moms especially, I want to take time to myself, but I feel guilty. I want to have clearer boundaries, but I end up like yelling at my kids and I feel guilty. I want to be doing, having um, more like time to teach my kids, but it feels like I do it wrong. And then I'm like, what's wrong with me? I'm just not good at this. We have shame, we have guilt so much in our lives as parents. I am not here to cause any shame on you. In fact, can we just pause for a moment and say, let's quit feeling shameful when we make mistakes? Mistakes are wonderful opportunities to learn. Mistakes are wonderful chances to realize that we're learning and growing just as much as our kids are learning and growing. So, mom, you sitting there right now, I want to tell you something, first thing that is really, really powerful. Today can be the day that you move forward without ever again regretting what you have said to your child. And how are you going to get there? It's not because you're going to be perfect. Mm-mm. It's not because your kids are going to be perfect. Nope. My kids are not perfect. I am not perfect. I've been a parenting coach for 10 years. I've been a counselor, licensed for that long as well. And I have worked with kids for 20 years in my background as a camp counselor, after school program director, working in a place for extremely emotionally disturbed kids in Oakland, then being a nanny and having my own kids, being a stay-at-home mom and a working mom. I have never been perfect. I never will be perfect. And my kids are not perfect. They will not be perfect. But here's the difference. I do feel like I do not regret the things that I say and do because I have a solid foundation, a plan of how I'm going about parenting, and I have a solid approach of how I respond and how I reevaluate and how I get back on track if things don't go in an effective way. And that's what leads me to never regret how I handle parenting. And if you are craving this, you're like, I need that. Boy, I would love to be in a place where I am not regretting what goes on. Then let's get you there. I have opened the doors right now to my mentorships. I have 1 month and a 16-month full transformation program. Many folks right now are choosing the 1 month option because I've extended a bonus where you get 2 months so that it's the whole summer, July and August, that you get to start into the foundational tools of sustainable parenting and self-paced learning. They're all 5 to 15-minute videos, making it super simple. And secondly, you get to attend group mentorship where a community is showing you how others are learning and growing. That decreases that shame huge ways. Where a community is, and also that you get to be in a space where you are troubleshooting the things that you're learning and being able to make sure to personally apply those tools to your child. So if this is something that you've been craving and you've been wanting for yourself, let's get you into that space with us. I'm going to put our clarity call link below so that you can set up a time with me. Let's make it happen. Let's get you into a clarity call. And I don't want you to just hear from me. I want you to hear from Abby, who is a sustainable mama who went through our full transformation program, the 16-month, 4 months of wraparound weekly coaching, followed by a year where you get monthly check-ins so that you really sustain this lifelong transformation of a new relationship with your child, never regretting what you have said, having tools that help you to be the calm, confident mama you always wanted to be. And in order to do that, I want to share, she made this giant transformation. She started out feeling as though she was yelling at her child a lot. They were fighting and just like having conflict. And she's a single mom, divorced. And so she said, man, I'm so bummed that my time gets wasted. My precious time that I have with my child gets wasted with these battles. And Flora, she's a good kid. She's amazing. A lot of teachers and other parents say she's well behaved. It's just that our relationship tends to have a ton of conflict. And that's what brought her into the program. And then she ended up in a place where it was no longer that way. And I want to now share her story with you.
Really challenged yesterday.
And you aced it.
I did.
Came out on top.
No, I actually did ace it. I did ace it.
Tell us about that.
It was not pretty. And then, I did. I mean, I just lost it and was just like, this is not how we treat our friends. And she was crying. And I mean, just a hot mess. And her friend came back in and she stormed out and then she went upstairs and we shared, we did lecturing Abby. Right. And then I just like the chaos in the house and I just stopped as Avery's screaming on the stairs. Right. Like, and she's truly upset. And luckily the little friend by then is just kind of like, whatever. And then I was like, I need to turn this around. It's going to ruin I get a bonus night with my child and it's going to ruin the whole night. And I started with connection because you immediately want to go to the correcting or the, solving the problem right away, fixing it for your kid instead of letting them fix it in themselves. And so every time I've taken the time to connect, I've had a completely different result. I mean, that's pretty crazy.
And all because would these things have even occurred to you to try 3 months ago?
No, which I don't know if I should be embarrassed, but being brutally honest, they would not have. I mean, I would have ended up sending the friend home, yelling at Avery. I mean, obviously, you know what I mean by yelling. I mean, and sending her to a room. She would have slammed the door 45 times. I would have yelled at her for breaking the house. And it just would have been, and she would have come away with horrible feelings about how I feel about her. Then I would be super guilty and then let her be on the iPad for an hour because I just felt so bad. That's what would have happened. I mean, yeah.
That was the old habit. And you were like, even though you're such a smart person, you're like the successful, amazing businesswoman, those things didn't occur to you because it is a counterintuitive, like it's not it sounds like it really has been worth learning something new that you didn't know before.
Yeah, it's something new. And so, like I said, something that I'm slightly embarrassed that I wouldn't have initially gone to that. But I mean,
that's
not how I was raised, and also too, I'm a scientist, I'm a talker, I'm just, it's like, I've always talked to Avery, like we never did baby talk. I always driving across Montana for 12 hours. I just talked to my daughter. And so to me, it's just like, well, of course we share. We want friends to come over. It's not very nice. You don't want to be selfish. You should appreciate the things that you have. I mean, all those things are true, but not that's not what she needed from me. Right.
And she couldn't hear it. I think that's it, is like
Yeah.
those are the great teachable things you want her to learn, but it's about being clever enough to know how to actually get her to hear it.
Right. And she ended up sharing, and they moved on after that. They played downstairs, and there was never another issue before I called them to dinner and I said, "Hey, dinner's ready." And they had fun, and then they wanted to play after dinner, but of course it was getting late. So we had to split up. They're just our neighbors. They're amazing. But yeah, it changed. I would have woken up this morning feeling so guilty that I totally blew, the evening with my daughter, and by yelling and losing my temper. And then we just missed, we would have missed so many moments that we didn't miss. And it was fine.
Yeah, a totally different moment where you taught, you connected, you supported, like all the golden things that you wanted. It's like, it doesn't mean there isn't bumps and there isn't like emotions and that, but the goal is that you end feeling proud of how you handled it.
Yeah, definitely.
And you are, and that it worked, and it brought it down faster. And it sounds like it did. It saved you time to do it that other way.
Yeah. I mean, it saved so much time. It really did. We had such a fun evening.
Yay.
And bedtime went well. Nobody's feelings were hurt. It was probably almost in her little blip. It was probably almost a non-moment because, we turned it around so fast.
Like really, if a video camera had been watching, it might have been like, oh my gosh, really, we went from blow up to this in 4 minutes? Oh my gosh. Right?
It actually probably was about 4 minutes in all reality. I mean, it really probably was 4 minutes but.
And how long would the like fight back and forth have possibly lasted in the past?
Like 30 minutes, and just being angry at each other and, upset. And then, like I said, and almost probably just as bad, the mean mommy, the chart that you put up, right? And then she doesn't need to be watching her iPad for 60 minutes. That's ridiculous. But in the past, I would just be in this mode of where, well, number one, like, I just can't handle another moment. So for me, get on your iPad. And then number two, feeling guilty because I was obviously, so feeling bad of how I would have been yelling at her that I just would have just wanted to placate her. So she hopefully has a happy memory of the night. Well, at least you got to watch her iPad, which is not okay. So yeah.
Which then would have just caused that cycle again, that like she's demanding the next time, and then you're upset, and then your iPad time, and that was the cycle.
Yeah. So yeah, I know. I feel so good. And my best friend's flying in from Chicago this morning. It's taken her 2 years. You get this, all moms get this. She has 3 kids. And she's an amazing stay-at-home mom, and sports, and her husband's work, and just we finally got a long weekend where she's coming out. So I feel like, I would have woken up just feeling so bad, but I Peloton this morning and I'm like, I'm ready. And I just feel like if that situation if I wouldn't have been able to turn it around, it would have just been weighing on me. And like, I would have been feeling it just for the next couple of days of like, gosh, I wish that would have gone better. How could I have done it better? Well, now I know. so yay.
Yay. I'm so glad.
I know, I'm really excited.
And remember, and to think that like 2 months ago, you're like, I don't know, can this really work for me?
You watch your workshop, right? And you're like, well, I'm hearing a lot of things that sound amazing, but like, I'm kind of a hot mess. And can it really change? And well, apparently it can.
She's here to tell the story. If it can work for Abby, it can work for anybody.
Seriously, it can work for anybody.
You're just a real person, like so many. There's a lot of single moms, there's single dads, there's people who aren't single, but their partner works a lot. And so, right. Yeah, I love, you're like the perfect example of, it's true. If you can do it, anyone can, but like in a positive way. It doesn't mean like you're the most mess. It's just that like
It's okay.
you have
I was a hot
challenges
mess.
like everyone. Everyone has a lot on their plate. And you totally had the capability to make it happen. Like you're a smart person. You knew you're good at learning things.
Right.
You implement things. You're a hard worker. You just didn't know the like recipe to implement.
Exactly. And I think like, because I mean, I guess I'm more than halfway through. This is like our last month. And I think that what's good is it's just like, yeah, moments like that are going to happen where I'm not going to handle things perfectly. And I think I was most stressed out about that is like, but it's like, you know what? No one's perfect. Like we're all going to flip our lids. We're all going to, we might not handle things right the very first time, but like the fact to know that you can turn any situation around, like at any moment you can do the floor. I call it the floor pause now. I'm like, pause, don't talk, pause, don't talk, keep pausing, keep pausing. This is like in my head. I was telling myself, keep pausing. How are we going to do this? And go. It's so funny.
That's awesome though. And then like,
Yeah.
and that's you. You're like, okay, I'm going to connect to me. So I'm going to be my best self.
Yep.
And I love that. It's like, yeah, even though it had some bumps,
Yeah,
you went to bed proud of how it ended.
exactly. Because I think, and obviously, especially some of Avery has, she's never going to be perfect. I'm not going to be perfect. Nobody is. I mean, it's kind of cliche, but I think knowing that I have the tools, and sometimes I can pull them out right away and I don't even know I'm doing it. I mean, we've had conversations and you're like, oh, well, this is what you did, Abby. And I was like, oh yeah. And then sometimes I have to really think about it because I fail or whatever, I'm like, ooh, and then I can take a deep breath and bounce back. And seriously, Flora, I just can't believe it. I mean, I really can't. I mean, I really can't believe how it's just impacted just even in my confidence, right? Even when I don't always do things right the first time, like I have the confidence in myself and in Avery that it takes one Flora pause. I know we should figure out how to trademark this. And that you can turn any situation around, any situation with the method, with the CEO. Just you can do it. I don't know. It's pretty crazy.
So great to hear from Abby on that. And this is the opportunity in front of you. If you're sitting there and you have wanted to have more connection, more sense of control, to be able to be the predictable, compassionate, powerful leader of your family, consider becoming a sustainable parent. And the mentorship opportunities to get you there are available right now. That you can be able to jump into either our 1 month, which right now is extended to 2 months for the price of one. So you get our foundational strategies and group coaching support on a weekly basis to be able to have wraparound connection to others, validation, and solutions so that you start seeing more calm, more confidence, more cooperation. And it's very easy to get started. You just schedule a clarity call with me, or you can go to our website, sustainableparenting.com/mentor, and be able to see all of the details right there. And there are even links if you're just like, I'm ready, I want to do this, let's get started. Anyone who just joins without a clarity call and just knows they're ready to get going is going to get a bonus workshop of my masterclass on top of the 1 month extended to 2 months. You also are going to get my masterclass at the value of $129. So today is the day. If you know in your heart that your family is deeply in need of having improved relationships, parents on the same page, and you being able to be the calm, confident, predictable mom that you always wanted to be, take action. Don't let another day go by, and we will get you there. So amazing to see you, and I look forward to talking to you soon.